It is 5:30 at this time. I'd like to call the meeting for order for a planning commission meeting, please.
Chairman Zarguni,
Present.
Vice Chairman Miller,
Here.
Commissioner York,
Here.
Commissioner Mendel,
Here.
Commissioner Salazar Garza.
Here.
Salazar Garza, Commissioner Munoz.
Here.
Commissioner Matahi,
Here.
Commissioner Lerma.
Here.
Commissioner Hedrick.
Here.
We have a quorum present to conduct the meeting.
Thank you. Moving on to the public comment. At this time, does anyone would like to speak regarding any public agenda item? None. I will close that. I'm moving on to the approval of the absences for Commissioner Mendel and Montagli.
I'll make a motion, we approve the absences.
We have a motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to the approval of the minutes from March 22nd, 2023.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 22nd, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to the consent public hearing discussions for item A and B.
Good evening, Commissioners. Marco Roscoe, Planner 3 for Development Services. I'm going to be reading into record consent items A and B. Starting off with the plats. Item number 2 is Charlotte Estates. It's a final plat of 80 acres. This is an OCL project. Item number 3, Ranfield Estates, Unit 1, final plat of 19.4 acres. Item number 4, Javelina Industrial Park, lots 3A and 4A, also known as Javelina Plant Buffer Tracts, a replat of 16.5 acres. Item number 5, Pydra Island number 1, block 17, lot 9R, it's a replat of 0.51 acres. I do want to add that item number 2 is a conditional approval for Charlotte Estates. All plats are meeting the Texas Local Government Code and the TRC review comments. Moving on to consent item B, zoning. Item 6, it's a public hearing zoning for property located at 910 Corn Products Road for Corpus Christi Party Hotel LLC. This is a request to rezone from the CG2 General Commercial District to the CG 2 with a special permit, General Commercial District with a special permit. At this time, we're also recommending approval for this item, consent item. At this time, you can ask questions for staff.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for staff? None. At this time, I'd like to open the public hearing regarding item number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Does anyone would like to speak about it? If you would please come forward to the podium. Say your name and address for the record, please.
I'm Bill Lathrop, and my address is 809 Corn Products Road. We're right across the street from this Corpus Christi Party Hotel, and we're opposed to it. I sent in our opposition to it, and we were here 6 months ago when y'all had the rezoning hearing, and we protested it then, and there were some other folks here too that were against what's going on over there, and it's a total mess. That hotel has been vacant for probably a decade. It's in a complete state of disarray. I can show you pictures, countless pictures on my telephone of police officers over there during the day, 3 or 4 police officers, sometimes 1 police officer. They aren't doing anything that they say that they're doing. And now when we were here last time, there was, I think the attorney, Bell, was representing the client, and they were from Kansas City, and they had all these nice pictures. They're going to make an extended stay, hotel, and there ain't no way that hotel can be remodeled or anything. That thing was built in the 70s. Have anybody been out there and seen it? Huh? Huh? You've been out there and seen it? Yeah. And you see the disarray of it? And what it's doing to our business across the street from us, Corn Products Road is a mess. And nothing's getting fixed there. We've probably, in the last 20 years, we've probably been sued 2 or 3 times from our trucks coming and going there because you can't turn around. And you know, people hit us and then it's our fault. It's a mess. There's no way that can be, that thing hadn't been opened in a decade. The traffic's completely different than what it is now. I mean, I can't believe the city's letting it go on like this. I mean, something's got to be done.
Anything else?
Well, have y'all looked? I would ask that y'all look and get the police reports and see what has transpired. How many calls have been over there in the last 6 months since the last time that we've been here for this meeting? And I can't believe that y'all would approve something like this. It's terrible.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Appreciate that. Anyone else would like to speak regarding any item? None, I will close the public hearing and entertain a further discussion or comments for staff, questions, or a motion. Yes, Commissioner York.
Question for staff on the public comment. You mentioned this item was here 6 months ago. Can you?
A separate item was here 6 months ago. The adjacent property was going through a rezoning process also to revamp that hotel. Of course, development takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Ironically, not developing the property would allow it to sit and further degrade. So having an opportunity to bring new development to the area and have an adaptive reuse of the structure brings quality to the neighborhood.
Right. And the adjacent one from 6 months ago, that one was approved, they just haven't developed it yet?
Correct. As
Okay.
a condition of the special permit, if they do not submit a complete building application by October of this year, the special permit will expire, just as what's being proposed in this language. If it's adopted by council, 1 year later, if they do not submit a complete building application, it too will expire.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to? Commissioner Munoz.
I have a question too. So the property is zoned CG2 right now?
Correct.
And it'll be rezoned to CD2 with the special permit.
That is correct.
Can you go through the special permit conditions? I know they're listed, but does it basically have to do with the parking?
It has to do with a combination of the parking and the density of the site. So general commercial district will allow 37 units per acre as its maximum, as there are, of course, more than 37 hotel rooms that would be converted. One of the conditions of the special permit is to match the number of hotel rooms to allow those to be converted to studio apartments. And then part 2 is to have a parking space requirement of 1 per dwelling unit, which ironically is what one of our proposals for a UDC rewrite is that right now, based on our discussion with the consultant, we very much over-park, meaning we require higher parking standards than many other cities across the country. So 1 per unit is a very reasonable requirement which is exactly what we require for hotels today. So it's not far off from our current UDC language. The additional language gets into driveway stacking. Of course, when you have workforce housing, you will have folks with F-150s, F-250s. The idea is if they keep the gates open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., it will prevent any type of backing up of traffic onto Corn Product Road. And if it closes after those hours, they have to provide so much depth so trucks, again, will not back up onto the street. Outside of that, they're required to install a buffer yard as if it's new development along the back side of the property. That's where you install an up-to-date fence, some trees, some landscaping. Again, noise attenuation reasons creates a separation of uses. And then lastly, it's that item that if a complete building application is not submitted within 1 year of the date of approval, the SP expires and they start over again.
Okay. And I think it's important to point out that this body is not approving the development itself, but just the rezoning of the property.
Correct, and that's a very important distinction to make. This is all about land use. Is the land use appropriate for the site?
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Garza.
Yes, I'm just curious, these special permit conditions, is the developer aware that this is something he has to follow?
Yes, and
make
they
sure
have
that he's
agreed.
going to abide by all of these?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a
Commissioner
motion.
Munez, you have a question?
I have a
Sorry.
follow-up question. Are the units occupied now?
No, it is, both hotels, both the one that was approved 6 months ago and this site are vacant.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Okay, at this time, you have a motion for,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve items 1 through 6 as presented by staff.
we have a motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the director report.
There's no report for this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Any future agenda item? None. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.